Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a delicious, simple, all-natural caramel sauce. Okay, this is really easy. It only has 4 ingredients: a stick of butter, and you're supposed to use unsalted in this. It would probably be fine with salted though. Half a cup of brown sugar, firmly packed, and half a cup of heavy cream. And once we heat this, we're going to heat it to a boil it for about 5 minutes, and then let it cool for 5 minutes. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to it. Now, this is great for a dip for all your fall fruit, your apples and pears and things like that. It's also really good for all those fancy coffee drinks that you like, you know, with the whipped cream and the caramel and the chocolate sauce and stuff on top of them that are good this time of year. You can drizzle it on pies, cakes, cookies, all kind of stuff like that. And we're going to be using this sauce in several recipes between now and Christmas, so kind of mark this one so you've got it to go in the other recipes. Okay, like I said, just turn it on medium, and we're going to heat it and kind of stir it pretty much constantly. You don't have to stir it real fast, but you do have that cream in there, so you don't want your cream to scorch. And once it starts to boil, we're going to turn it down so it's just at a low boil and heat it for, or boil it for 5 minutes. When you're making something like this that has sugar in it and cream, the reason why you boil it and the butter for so long is because you have to combine the ingredients. If you don't, your caramel sauce will separate. It'll be oily, it'll have grainy sugar in it. So you do want to spend that time and leave it at a boil for 5 full minutes. Okay, it's starting to boil now. Now once it starts to boil, you do want to keep stirring it, you know, constantly, because if you don't, your cream will scorch and it'll burn your caramel. And burnt caramel just is not any good. And I forgot, in addition to drizzling this over all your fall desserts and using it for a fruit dip and stuff, it makes a great ice cream topping. And you don't have to be afraid to serve it to people, because you know what's in it. Everything in it is natural. Everything in it's pretty healthy. Especially kids, you know, they love stuff like this. And if you've read the label on some of those jars of ice cream toppings and fruit dips and stuff, yeah, it's scary, some of that stuff in there. You can't even start to pronounce it. And you don't really want to feed a young child, a baby, all those chemicals. So doing stuff like this, it's all natural, so they can still have the treats and they're not missing out on stuff when everybody has dessert, is great. And they'll grow up a whole lot healthier. In fact, Charlotte is on her way over here, so we might have to make us a caramel sundae when she gets here. It's been boiling for about 3 minutes now, and I did turn it down to medium-low from medium, because you don't want to boil it out of the pan, and it will if you don't turn it down. And you can also see that it's starting to change colors. It's getting darker and it's not as cloudy looking. That means that my sugar is combining with my cream and my butter. so that it won't separate if I put it in the fridge or I drizzle it over something and let it sit for a while. Okay, it's been cooking for a full 5 minutes, and you can see the color is much darker. Most of the cloudiness is just because it's still boiling and bubbling. And we're just going to sit it here and let it cool for about 5 minutes before we add our vanilla. Because if we add it right now, it'll kind of dilute the flavor just a little bit, and we want to really taste that vanilla in this. There, now you can get a pretty good idea how dark it is. The bubbles are kind of starting to go away. Now, if you're making this to drizzle on something, you can get these little jars like this in Walmart for about $1. They might have them in a Dollar Tree's. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to find them in this one. And you can put it in your refrigerator and store it and take it out if you're using it for the coffee drinks or for an ice cream topping or whatever. But it'll store in your fridge for a few weeks anyway. You know, it does have milk in it, but it also has sugar in it, and the sugar is a preservative. So that'll keep it for a while in the fridge. I wouldn't try to keep it for several months, but you could certainly keep it for a couple weeks, I think. So we're just going to let that cool, and then we'll be back and add the vanilla. Okay, our caramel sauce has been cooling about 5 minutes, and we're just going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to it. And stir that up. Now, like I said, if you're using it for an ice cream topping or a drizzle, you can put it in one of these cute little jars. I do recommend a funnel. And I'll probably still make a mess. This makes about 1.5 cups, and I don't think these little jars hold quite that much, so I'll have a little bit left over. Yep. Held most of it. Let's see if this caramel sauce makes a good ice cream topping. What you think? Is it good? Yeah? Well, thanks for joining us in the Hillbilly Kitchen. Don't forget to click like and subscribe before you leave, and we'll see you next time.